G'day everybody, welcome back to another weekly tipping video on the channel. This is arguably the biggest tipping video yet so far this year, as we'll be going over my tips for round 23, the very last round of the home and away season. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And let's kick it off with my tips from last week. Rightio fellas, my tips from round 22, and I finally managed to get the perfect score of 9 out of 9. It took me 22 weeks to finally get it, but we did. So yeah, every single tip correct. There was a few 50-50 games scattered around, but I managed to get them correct, which is always lovely to see. And there was a number of close games over the weekend as well. So of course, did tip the Lions away. Really, I could have genuinely lost this game if 𝐼𝐴𝐿 could kick a bit straight. They were getting smacked in the first, around the first half, and then they started to claw things back their way. The Saints, the Lions were just doing what they did a few weeks ago, where the defense can be caught napping for maybe a period or two, or a quarter or a half, or a period of 20 minutes or so, but they managed to hold on by 15 points. 𝐼𝐴𝐿, absolute superstar he is. Tip the Bulldogs. I thought they'll get a convincing win, sort of, but Giants, credit to them, I think they played a fairly boring style, just chip mark, but they almost constructed their way to beating the Bulldogs in their season, but they just got home the Doggies by 5 points. Obviously tipped the Crows, and they got a nice convincing win by 29 points against the Kangas. First three quarters, North played quite decent footy, but they managed to claw their way home, the Crows. Obviously tipped the Cats against the Suns. I thought that maybe could be a bit of an upset in the cards, but it's as simple as this. Geelong are playing too good at footy to be dropping games, in my opinion, and they smashed them by 10 goals. Tipped the Demons because I thought they should be covering Carlton here, and again, Carlton's credit, they came out firing. They played some really good footy, really gave it up to them, the Demons, because I feel like the Demons, sometimes under pressure they can crack a bit, but the D's win an absolute hard stopper thanks to 𝐼𝐴𝐿. In the Western Derby, did tip Freo against West Coast, pretty stock standing tip here, Freo by 4 goals, and to be fair, I did tip, I think Freo by around 16-17 points. I knew it was going to be somewhat close, and to be fair it was, because of the wet weather conditions and also the number of fights that did occur. Now for the Sunday games, obviously tipped the Richmond Tigers over Hawthorn, and they absolutely smashed it, won by 10 goals. Tipped the 50-50 game of the Swans. I felt like they'd be really good at home, and they played absolutely fantastic against the Pies. Really could have been more if the Swans could kick a bit straight, but they got it done. And for the final game, was not expecting an 84-point smashing. Thought Port would win the game, but not like that. Absolutely obliterated Essendon, and now they have a lot of problems with their head coach and their staff. Okay, moving on now to my top 10 in my Rolls-Maker tipping competition. The very last round of the home away season, so we'll be wondering who will make the top 10, because the top 10 do get prizes as part of my competition. So in 10th, we've got Baggers of Flaggers, 9th, Demons Premiers 2021, 8th, 𝐼𝐴𝐿, 7th, Denmaster 45, 6th, Crypto Nostradamus, 5th, Buck for Life, 4th, 𝐼𝐿𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐿 𝐵𝐵𝐵𝐿𝐿𝐵, 3rd, Kebab King, 2nd, the mighty El Gordo, and first we still have Sophie Master 600 with 164 points. Rightio everyone, now my tips for round 23. I said at the start of the video, it's probably the biggest tipping video yet this year, because it's the final round of the home away season. It will shape the 8, shape the top 4 a bit too. Got a lot of crucial games here, and first off we have arguably I feel like this game isn't being talked much about because of the Carlton Collingwood game, but this is going to be a massive game. This is going to shape the top 4. Brisbane Lions taking on the Demons at the Gabba. So pretty much the winner of this, depending on the Swans result, will finish 3rd, and the other one will, depending on the Collingwood and Freo result, could be out of the top 4. So it's massive ramifications for both sides. It's an interesting one here. I think Demons and Lions are playing quite decent football at the moment. I'm really loving the look of the Demons. They've brought back a bit of their anger, brought back, the defensive setup. They showed that excellently well against Carlton. The defense really did stand up. And yeah, their midfield can really take it up to the Lions. And if they can get their forward half working, if 𝐼𝐴𝐿 and 𝐼𝐴𝐿 can get it alive, they can really exploit the Lions' defense. But it might just be a bit of a boring basic tip here, but simply I feel the Lions, prompt on footy at the Gabba, they're very hard to beat. 50-50 contest really in my eyes. I just feel Brisbane Lions can get on top here. I feel like their midfield and forward half is humming at the moment, and they'll really execute here. And a massive stakes game, and I think Lions will get this done over the Demons by 15 points. Now for the Saturday games, we have GWS taking on Fremantle. Interesting game here for Freo. If they do win this game, they're their best chance to finish top 4. I'm pretty sure if they do win, and depending on Collingwood results and a few others, they will finish top 4. Maybe miss out if they lose to the Giants here, who have got nothing to lose. I think the Giants, when they're on, they can be quite a decent side. They can scare a few opponents. They did it against Carlton. They did it against the Bulldogs. They smacked really Essendon whilst they were in good form. So really decent chance to take it up to Freo here in Canberra too. But I just feel Freo are playing some good footy at the moment. Again, it's a high-stake game. You can't really see them dropping this one here. And Giants are on and off, so you don't know if you can catch a really good hold on them. I can really see them, pushing them to the end of the game, end of the line. But I feel Freo are just, too good at the moment. You just can't really trust the Giants too much to pick up a result. Freo looking really good. Midfield, back half is playing some great footy too. So they're linking up nicely, Freo. And they'll win this game and win by 33 points. Now for North Melbourne, taking on the Gold Coast Suns. Got a non-finals worthy game here, but still a game to question. Can North Melbourne finish their season off on a high note against the Suns? It's at Marvel Stadium, so they do play their best footy there, North. And Gold Coast, not so much. Very scrappy interstate, and especially at Marvel. They seem to play bloody awful at Marvel. Can't remember the last time they picked up a win. I don't think I have picked up a win at Marvel this year. So, considering that, North, pretty decent chance here. I really do like them, but I feel like Suns, they really want to finish off their season on a high. I feel like they've just got that better list-wise to pick up a result here. I'll be going for the Suns here, and I think it'll be a good, solid battle. Gold Coast get it done by 19 points. Now for Geelong, taking on the Eagles at 𝐓𝐿𝐴 Stadium. So it's a pretty simple tip here. Catch be winning a massive one here to finish off their home and away season on a high note. Unfortunately, that Jeremy Cameron will be out with a hamstring injury, because if he were to kick a bag, he could overtake 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 𝐿𝐴 in the Coleman medal. So they'll probably have to rely on Hawkins to kick like a bag of 10 if they want to get a Coleman medalist in their side. But they're not obviously targeting that. They just want the win. And against the Eagles, they're awful at 𝐓𝐿𝐴 Stadium. Not really much else to say. Cats should be winning the big one. And they'll win a nice one by 76 points. Now for Saturday night footy, Essendon taking on the Tigers at the MCG. Well, but Dons are just under the pump really through the media throughout the week, with Ben Rutten, Gents being sacked, the president president resigning. So there's just a lot of troubles, inside the four walls of the footy club. And usually sometimes teams can play well off it. They fire up, they have a bit of fires in the belly, and they come out and play some great footy. But against the Tigers back in finals footy contention, they'll just be sitting 7th if they pick up this result. And against the Dons, it was not a bad hit out last time these two sides played. Expecting another good one, but I feel like Tigers are just too good for the Dons in this one. And they'll pick up a win and win by 23 points. And for a bit of showdown action, Port Adelaide taking on Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Both teams not making finals this year. It's probably the first time in a while that Port Adelaide and Adelaide aren't going to be making finals in the same year. So not really much to play for, but showdowns. So that can only mean one thing: fights, aggression. Both teams going at it completely hard. They'll have sort of nothing to lose. They want to end their season well with beating, their crosstown rivals. So Port Adelaide, look, interesting one here. I think both teams have been playing quite decent footy. It's a 50-50 game in my opinion. But I feel like Port, just the more convincing side. I do feel, their midfield's looking quite good. Forward half's looking awesome too at the moment, Port. So it's a bit of a shame that it's been a bit of a wasted season, but I feel like they'll get the job done over Adelaide here and win. It'll be a close one, I reckon. Port will win by 8 points. Now this is where the final 3 games around do get interesting. The Sunday games. First up, Hawthorn hosting the Western Bulldogs at UTAS Stadium. Bulldogs are going to win this game, simple as that, if they do want to play finals football in 2022. But against the Hawks in Tasmania, it's no easy task. I feel like a lot of people are probably thinking it'll just be a walkover, a nice, comfortable win. But geez, Bulldogs haven't been really playing the greatest sort of footy. I mean, a poor loss to Freo the week before. Just an ugly win against the Giants, where they were pretty fortunate to be on the right side of the scoreline. Against the Hawks, nothing to lose really. I know they were awful last week against the Tigers, but they've been hot and cold, Hawks, and you can't really get a full grasp on them. That's just how the Hawks are this year. But at UTAS, really good chance here in Tasmania. And in fact, fun fact, last time these two sides played in Tasmania was last year, and they absolutely knocked off the Bulldogs in great style, Hawks. So yeah, it could be a bit of a turn into a bit of a dead rubber game for Carlton if the Bulldogs do lose, so they can lose the game by 60 points, the boys. But I still think that the Carlton, Collingwood and the Hawthorn and Bulldogs game should be played simultaneously. But anyway, it's at 1:10 PM. But look, it's a close one. I just feel Bulldogs, they know that they need to win this for finals footy. They're going to be fired up. They have a lot to play for. I think they play hungry here. They pick up this solid win, an important win, and they win this one by 14 points. Now, for arguably one of the biggest games, or attendance-wise that is, so far this year, or maybe for a number of, in a number of years. Carlton, Collingwood, they're expecting what is a sold-out crowd, so probably 100k going to be packed into the MCG. Massive game. It's simple as this. If Carlton want to play finals footy, they need to win this game, or probably lose a very tight one. And if Collingwood want to play top 4, depending on a few results, I think they need to win this game nevertheless. So, yeah, for me, I still don't know. The weeks into looking at this game, the build-up, it's a 50-50 game. I do not know who to tip because you don't know if Carlton are going to really turn up. You don't know if Collingwood are going to just absolutely obliterate the Blues through pressure and their forward half ability and the corridor use. So I really don't know. I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I did tip the Pies last time these two sides played, whilst Carlton were in a bit of form. So maybe could the reverse happen? Collingwood finally got their winning streak knocked off, so they want to be playing. They want to come back. Back in the winner's circle. Whilst the Blues were angry as well. They dropped a nasty one. So it's a 50-50 game. I mean, the odds are at $1.92 each as well. Even the punters don't even know who's going to win this game. 50-51, but look, I feel like Blues deserve to make finals this year, and I reckon they will be playing finals footy. Blues pick up a thriller here by 2 points. It's going to go right down the right. It's anyone's game. I'm going to be going for the Blues. And for the final game of the 2022 AFL home and away season, we have St Kilda hosting the Sydney Swans at Marvel Stadium. It's an interesting one here because the Saints can play good football against the Swans, but they don't really have much to play for. There's still a mathematical chance for making finals, the Saints, but they need to beat the Swans by probably at least 12 goals and rely on Collingwood beating Carlton by at least 12 goals to get the match percentage. So I feel like that's pretty much season over. Brett Ratton said they're not playing finals anyways, so you could probably cross them off for finals. You can cross them off, let's just say that, because they're not going to be beating the Swans by 12 goals, you'd think. Interesting one here. I think, as just said, Saints can play good footy against the Swans. They have done that in past occasions, like last year. They actually absolutely smacked the Swans in a much-needed game for both clubs. But yeah, Swans, look, they're, alongside Geelong, they're the highest, best form side in the competition at the moment. They're absolutely humming now. 6 wins in a row. I can't really see the Swans dropping this game at all. It could be a close game where the Saints really push them, and I can see that. But just the Swans forward half, just everywhere around the ground, they're playing awesome. They're starting to get their contested possession going too, which is a massive factor for finals footy. They're building nicely. They're just in too good form, the Swans. I can't see them losing this game. And they'll pick up a nice, solid win here against the Saints, and they'll win this one by 40 points. So everyone, there were my tips for round 23 of the 2022 AFL season. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to enjoy today's video, and make sure to comment down below and let me know what you think of my tips. Love to hear your fellas' thoughts. Once again, fellas, thank you very much for watching today's video, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, fellas.